Does identity politics work, Tim? In all seriousness, I don't like to put my values on other people's values and the things I care about politically on other people. I try as hard as I can not to do that. I would assume since politicians have been doing this stuff so long, it's effective on someone, right? I mean, I don't like to imagine that could be effective on anybody, but does it work to talk like someone else and, oh, look at my black music? Is that effective?
No, especially not coming from Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, who is probably whiter than Joe Biden on the. Am I allowed to say that on the show? She's probably whiter than Joe Biden. She's the worst. She's locked up more black people than any politician, I think, in American history. So, they are the worst team ever. And there's no way this pandering now. It's very clear. What was there? A poll the other day said Donald Trump is getting 50% of the Hispanic vote. That's how they think they're going to get it back, is having old Joe show up and play the first crappy 10 seconds of Despacito. They got another thing coming to him.
Why is he losing the Hispanic vote? If you pay attention to his messaging, as I know you have over the past week or two, they are clearly worried about losing the suburban vote because he keeps using that word suburbs and suburban 1,000 times, and they're big time worried about losing the Hispanic vote. Why have they lost it? What did they miss?
Well, it's something very easy. Most of Hispanic people who have immigrated to America did so legally, and it's a pain in the butt to get to America. It's a pain in the butt to immigrate here, and you have to follow the law to a T. They work very hard to get here, and now Democrats want to hand everything out for free to everyone else who came here illegally. That is a slap in the face to every legal immigrant in this nation.
The Democratic Party seems like an odd coalition right now. When you consider all the people they've managed to gather and try to wrangle together, doesn't that seem like it would be the most massive pain in the rear end to wake up one day and know, okay, I have to go pander. First of all, I have to go pander to Black Lives Matter today. You better change up the music and your language. We're heading down to the old Hispanic caucus. Oh, we got the trans people today. Doesn't that seem like so much of a pain? Wouldn't you just want to give up?
Well, here's the thing. It's not just a pain for Joe Biden. Joe Biden hates black people. He's got a long history of saying terrible things, terrible racist things about them. It's got to be doubly as bad for him now that he's got to go pander to people he doesn't like.
Do you take any stock in this Harris-Biden administration stuff that now has slipped out multiple times on the campaign trail, once out of Kamala's mouth, or Kamala, whatever her name is, and now once out of Joe's mouth too? Is this one of those planned things?
By the way, wasn't it Kamala back in the day? Didn't we used to call her Kamala? Didn't she go by that? And then they changed the pronunciation of it. Maybe they were confusing her with the wrestler who was also named Kamala Harris. By the way, it was James Kamala Harris. You should look him up. Great guy. I got to meet him back in the day. Had stars on his boobs and a moon on his stomach. Probably a better candidate than she would have ever been. Here's the thing. It's a scam on Democrat voters. I think it's great that they're calling it the Harris-Biden ticket. They're exposing themselves now if they're rolling with this, even if it's by accident. Nobody wanted her in the Democratic primary at all. She was one of the first people to drop out. She's one of the least charismatic people and polls terribly in her own party. So let them keep putting her up front. That's great. Even more for Trump.
Don't they have to, though? When you look at what she is and what versus what he is, I realize she's not exactly dripping charisma, but she at least can speak. They have to put her up.
She can. I don't doubt that they try to throw her into one of the debates with President Trump instead of Joe Biden, because Joe he's been having trouble. The other day when he was in front of that Field of Dreams looking thing, I thought he was going to walk into it and disappear forever and go up to the heavens. But, he's looking frailer and frailer every day. And I'm not saying that even comically. He looks terrible. He looks like an old man who is way past his prime. He can't complete sentences. He's confused half of the time. He doesn't even know. How do you not know what your next campaign stop is when you only have one stop a day? He had to ask his wife. One stop. He had no clue.
Hey, thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me. Like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me.